All right, so we're here with Mike Gamble, a producer on Mass Effect 3. Wow, how is that going over there at Bioware Edmonton?
Pretty damn good. I mean, we're in the midst of filing the game, and it's a really exciting time. Lots of people are doing a lot of hard work, and we're just really trying to get it done in time so we can ship it in March.
I've been hearing a lot of buzz lately about the multiplayer, kind of a huge announcement as a part of Mass Effect 3. First time it's done multiplayer. Can you tell me a bit more about how that'll work? Or
Sure. So, I mean, multiplayer is really a piece of the game that works with the single player. We made it coexist with the entire game. So what you do in multiplayer has a direct impact on what happens in single player. It's all part of this whole Galaxy at War system that we've been putting together.
Yeah.
But you know, the multiplayer isn't required to have the best ending, to have the best experience in the single player. It just adds on to the experience and kind of augments it in whatever way you want it to.
Right. So you say it adds on to the killer single player that the series is actually known for. This time we're taking Commander Shepard right against the Reapers. It's all-out war on Earth now. What is that like from a gameplay perspective? Is most of the missions still, are most of the quests still against the Reapers, or what are we looking at in Mass Effect 3?
I mean, well, Mass Effect 3, the framing is obviously the Galactic War. Like, everything is under the overall arc of the Reapers attacking. So a lot of the missions that you do kind of tie back to that main story thread, and it's really important that we keep that going throughout. Mostly to give the story what it needs to keep going, have the story basically finish in a proper way that we really want it to. A lot of the subquests, a lot of the submissions generally tie into this overall theme, but they kind of have their own identities on themselves as well.
Right. So this is the end of the trilogy. Are you guys throwing in everything you can, ideas left over from the last few games, trying to pack in as much content into Mass Effect 3 as possible?
Absolutely. I mean, whenever we go into a new game, especially in the Mass Effect series, we look at the things that we wanted to improve from the previous games, the things that we want to bring into the new games, and because of that, Mass Effect 3 is no different. We looked at what we want to change in Mass Effect 2.
Right.
We brought it into ME3, and it is by far the biggest game that we're doing in the Mass Effect series so far.
Now, the Mass Effect also known for its wildly divergent story, especially if you've been playing since the very first game. Are there any unique challenges around that when designing the third game? Can people start and be anywhere within the story?
Yeah, I mean, there definitely are challenges because since your Shepard experience is kind of your own and you customize it through the previous two games, the content that we do has to be accepting of all those different choices, and you basically have to, as Shepard, live your own story out, and the consequences that you have, you see based on the choices that you made in the past, all have to be present, all have to be there. It is really challenging. It takes a lot of work, but we're definitely up to it.
Sure. What are fans of the franchise gonna see that's new and exciting with Mass Effect 3?
Well, definitely the Galaxy at War system is great. The augmenting of single player with the multiplayer is awesome. But really it's the conclusion of Shepard's story, right? I mean, that's kind of what we're driving towards. Longtime fans will definitely like, they'll jump in and they'll be excited to see how it ends. New fans, of course, it's a really good place to start. Beginning of the war, we've been kind of alluding to it for 2 games now. It's finally here. You start off on Earth, the Reapers are attacking. It's kind of a big blockbuster moment to get into the game.
That's epic, and I love the opening of Mass Effect 2, so I'm sure Mass Effect 3 will probably trump that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's everything I really wanted to ask. Corey, can you think of anything right now? Just while...
How many lines of dialogue did you guys record so far?
Right now it's upwards of 40,000. We haven't pinned down an exact number, but it's huge.
Mark Meir just in the studio giving up those those alternate takes
all the time. Good old Mark Meir, yeah.
And sure, another stat number here. How many points and events that carry over from the first 2 games weigh into the third?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I believe Casey has probably said something somewhere to some publication around, how many. But it's tons. It's so much so that we have to have a small army of talented testers to basically play through all the plot stakes to do it.
Yeah.
So for those people who haven't played the DLC, and for those who have, will they be getting a similar experience?
The game does know if you play the DLC, and your experience will be slightly changed based on if you did or didn't. Overlord, Shadow Broker, Kasumi, you name it. We read those plot states.
Okay. Excellent. So down here for the Old Republic midnight launch, can we expect to see yourself at the Bioware crew back at the beginning of March when Mass Effect 3 finally drops?
If they'll have us here, absolutely. I mean, we were here for the beginning of ME2, and we're expecting a huge crowd for ME3 as well.
Awesome. Mike, thank you very much for taking the time to have a chat.
No problem. Thanks.